like to do one more massive project, and I think evolving from the Group B era was like another era which never actually run. So I'd probably like to build another car that's going to be from that era. So watch this space.
Right, well, we're back. My name's David Rowe from EPSmotorsport, and this is what we're going to build. This is the RS001 mid-engined Audi quattro that doesn't exist anymore anywhere in the world. Because, interesting story, they built it and they weren't meant to build it because of management, then they crushed it. So this car doesn't exist anymore, but we're making it again. So yeah, follow us along for the journey and then see how we get on. The story goes, the chairman of Audi at the time, Ferdinand Peach, knew of this Audi build that was going to happen, but they wanted to have the traditional layout of the engine in the front, much the same as the road cars that they're selling and making all their money off. So they didn't want a mid-engine car, whereas Roland Gumpert and the crew back at Audi Sport, they wanted to have a Audi quattro, but with the engine in the middle of the car, much the same as the S4, the T16, etc. So that's why, unbeknown to Audi board members, they still built it anyway. So they went a bit rogue when this was built. And so they built it under secret, and then they tested it out in Czechoslovakia, and a spy photographer got in and took some photos of this car being tested. And of course he publicised it. Audi hit the roof. Audi went down to the workshop, crushed the cars. They don't exist anymore. So, you know, and there's lots of documentaries on the internet about this sort of going on and so forth. So basically, we wanted to build something special that follows on from these Group B cars. So this was a Group B S1 E2, and then we've got the Pikes Peak version of the S1 E2. And then after Group B was going to happen, they were going to start Group S, and that's what this car was originally designed for. They only had to build 20 production cars to be eligible for Group S, so it's a lot easier for the manufacturers to start a new, or build a special concept car. So Audi built this probably in a hurry because they didn't want anybody to know. And there's little or no existence of any photos of this car and its construction. And so we got what little photos that we had from the internet. We then made a rough plan of how we're going to make it. I bought a little model from Germany, as you've seen in the previous picture. And then we scanned it, we blew it up. I started buying parts. We used like an Audi quattro as a quattro coupe as a donor shell for it, and we're kind of getting the band back together. So John Webster's built the car for us. He's great at fabrication, and we've worked with each other for quite a long time now. And his workmanship and, you know, skill level is at another level, and he's a really good mate. So it's been such a pleasure to be doing it. Mackie's dog, he keeps eating my parts, but that's another story. We'll contact that later on. And then, you know, we've got all other brands that are helping us along the way. Alcon are back on board. They're going to supply us all the braking system for the vehicle. TurboSmart are providing us with a turbocharger system for it, and all the fuel pressure regulators and anti-lag valves and stuff like that. Motec Electronics are going to be providing all the electronics for the vehicle as well. So yeah, we're really excited to be, you know, building another project. So, and we are a little bit further on than you think. Right, so what are we building? what we're going to build is engine-wise, we're going to use the Audi 5-cylinder engine. It's going to be 2.5 litre, turbocharged. I'm going to have a couple of different turbo combinations for it. So one with about 650 horsepower and then one with about 1,000. Okay, that'll come later on. So with the engine in the back of the car, we had to design, or have designed and made, a unique transmission system. So basically the transmission stays in the center of the car. So we have a 6-speed dog box that's got a prop shaft that connects it to the engine in the back. And then out of that, we have another prop shaft going to the rear differential. And then we have the gearbox joining on to the actual front differential of the car. So really there is not a lot of overhang to the car's mechanical components. So, you know, there's a lot of weight in the center of the car. So naturally it should handle way better than how the original Group B cars were designed with the engine in the front. So that's going to be an advantage. The chassis is going to be a full chromoly tube frame, space frame. And we've got upper and lower wishbones from an Audi R8. And they're all the hubs, all the sort of mechanical suspension parts will be from that. KW have done us some competition dampers for it, and they're all the latest version 5, 6 race damper. So they're very custom and very, very nice actually. We'll show you those later on. Braking wise, we've got a Alcon floor mounted pedal box system on it. Same as what they use in the GT3 cars, and that's slide adjustable as well. So if I want to fine tune it to different leg positions, I can. So we're going to have 2 seats in the car, much the same as the old rally cars did. And we've got some really cool stuff. We've got an old school dashboard in it with video gauges, much the same as they did back in the day. And we've had to make a custom bodywork for the vehicle as well, because although it looks a little bit traditionally like an Audi Quattro S1, it's not. It's very different in the back. So we had the guys at Alitech Precision scan the car, and then we drew up a version of bodywork which we then overlaid over the original car, and then that allowed us to style the back bodywork and the rear arches and the rear shark fins for the air ducts and stuff like that, to suit the Group S car, because panels don't exist. If you, it's hard enough buying an Audi Quattro part, let alone trying to find a Group S car part. It just doesn't exist. So we've had to make it ourselves. So we had to get it scanned, we had to have molds made, and the whole back end of the car is made out of carbon fiber, and it's a flip top. So you just basically open it up and you can get to everything in the engine bay. So it works really well. So, and then up the front, there'll be the fuel system and fuel cell. And then not much else really. There's a radiator up the front. We run the coolant lines and fuel lines through the vehicle. And that's kind of it really. So yeah, sounds simple. These are all the molds that we've had to have made for the rear end of the car. Because it's such a special shape with its unique shark fins at the side and all the other bits and pieces, we've had to have all this designed and sort of made. And these are the actual molds that we had made for the carbon fiber work. And they're just a work of art. So these are all being used, so you're not meant to clean them after you use them really. So these are like the shark fins for the side of the car, which are one of my favorite part of the car really. I absolutely love this part. And then these are the other bits that they've all got scribe lines in them. See the little scribe lines? So that way they know where to cut them and stuff like that. And then these are all got dowels so that they could all be pinned together. So that's all the bit for the rear bumper. So I've got all the molds now so I can keep them in stock. So when I do something like that, crush it, I can make my own again. So yeah, that's the goal for that really. So these are the wheels we're going to use. Rotiform ROC-H wheels, 18 by 10. And these look amazing. Nice and wide. nice and strong. So look period-ish correct from the old works wheels. And because we're going to use the car on tarmac, we should be able to get a good selection of tyres for it. And we could, plenty of room on the inside so we can fit those big Alcon brakes as well. So yeah, looking forward to putting these on the car. So if you want to follow us along for the journey, so please like and subscribe this video, and there'll be more to come, definitely. So we've got some great content and we can't wait to have you along for the journey. So follow the links below.